Uncle Stephen's Spinning Project, Test 1. Before the Industrial Revolution, everything was made by hand. This means that not only was clothing sewn by hand, but the cloth was hand woven and the threads for the cloth were hand spun. The first tool used to spin fiber into yarn and thread was the spindle. There are many types, though the most common is the whorl. The whorl, which is this part here, can be made of almost anything. Generally it's round, and serves to keep the spindle moving via centrifugal force. As the spindle spins, fiber is slowly drawn out, twist enters the fiber, and as it lengthens and becomes too long to be wieldy, it is then wrapped around the shaft of the spindle. When the fiber is used up, which I won't be doing right now, then the thread or singles yarn can be removed, and once it's washed or if chosen to be plied, then it is usable for whatever purpose you so desire. There are likewise many types of wheels, spinning wheels. This one is a type called tilt tension because this moves to change the tension. And it's also known as a Canadian production wheel because it spins very fast and was used for production. It was made in Ontario around the 1830s. It's a fairly simple machine. The treadle, which is not visible but is kind of like a pedal on a bicycle, except there's only one of it, is connected to the drive wheel, which is this here, which then connects to the bobbin and failure with a pulley system. As the treadle is pressed, the drive wheel spins, as the treadle is pressed, drive wheel spins, pulling the yarn in, allowing the twist to enter, just as it did with the spindle. Yarn is then wrapped around the bobbin, and when it is full, it can be removed. And again, after washing, the yarn can be used. Running into a little technical difficulties here. Sorry. Oops. The spinning wheel is believed to have been invented in India during the 1st century. In Europe, widespread use of the spinning wheel is not evident until the late 17th century. Until the early 1900s, most yarns and threads in rural areas were made by hand via spinning wheel, or possibly the spinning jenny, which is like a spinning wheel with extra bobbins. Pioneers to the west, including Texas, would have used a wheel called a great wheel or walking wheel, so named because walking was the main way in which it functioned. It did not have a treadle like mine does, but rather it had a wheel almost 3 times the size of this one, which was then turned by hand as the spinner would walk back and forth to wind the singles yarn onto the spindle. In Texas, there's evidence of cotton being spun by hand up through the Civil War. Unlike wool, cotton was, and still is, mostly spun on a spindle, making it rather more time-consuming. Southern women who moved down to Texas brought their spinning skills with them, and many had cotton patches on their homesteads. Contrary to popular belief, wool was still used. Cotton was never completely the only fiber in use. I'm really off. Though most pioneers wore deerskin clothing, as spinning was very time-consuming and labor-intensive, as As the areas grew more populated and wealthy, as areas grew more populated and wealthy, trade routes opened, allowing people to purchase pre-made goods.